Counsel. Justice Barrett.
Mr. Stewart, you told Justice Gorsuch, this is follow-up to the same question Justice Kavanaugh asked, that you would be satisfied with our sending it back to the Fourth Circuit and saying, purpose is what you need, you said knowledge was enough, that's wrong. Although you would prefer for us to say purpose can be shown in these two specific ways. What would be the advantage, as you see it, of our taking the narrow approach and sending it back just based on purpose? What do you think we might leave open, that we might want to leave open, that falls outside of those two categories?
I guess in part I'll want to hear Mr. Clement's presentation, because I would want to know, does he think there is a plausible basis on which his client might still seek to prevail under a purpose standard, when purpose is understood really intent to bring this result about and desire that it succeed? If Mr. Clement thinks on the existing record, we might be able to show that even in this case, that would weigh in favor of sending
it back. Even apart
back
from this case, you know, we're thinking about aiding and abetting liability, we're thinking about beyond this case. I mean, are there scenarios in which you can imagine it being a bad thing for us to say, these are the two ways that you can show purpose, because we might be ruling out secondary liability in other contexts?
I would just make it clear that you are limiting your holding to situations in which the plaintiff seeks to impose liability for selling a generic product to a mass audience. And in that circumstance, we're comfortable saying these are basically the only two ways, but we would not want the court to foreclose the possibility that purpose could be shown in a variety of ways when you're providing what I referred to as targeted assistance.
How broad do you understand Mr. Clement's theory to be? If, for example, the recording industry or Sony has vendors that detect, as here, that particular households, particular IP addresses are engaged in infringing activity, what if they also sent notices to the electric company? Because clearly you can't run the internet unless you have electricity for the modem, and said, you are supplying this service and now you have knowledge that it's being used for infringement.
I think Mr. Clement would probably say that the DMCA reflects a special focus on internet companies, and that it is a justification for inferring potential liability in that scenario, and there's no DMCA equivalent for electric companies.
Justice Jackson.